Welcome! In this playthrough of Marvel Champions, a card game, Captain America and Thor team up to protect Avengers Tower from Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive. So down at the table, we've got two main schemes here. Doing the normal expert mode, and also there is a modular difficulty for this one. I'm not going into that, but you can do the math at the end. If you're playing expert mode, you have the option of adding an additional 2 threat per player on Avengers Tower. We'll get on to see what that means here in a second. But for our setup, so we were using stages 2 and 3 on both of these villains, using tower defense in the standard sets, and the armies of Titan are coming in. And for setup, we're going to reveal stage 2A, as there's 2 main schemes and 2 villains in play. But on this one, we're going to have a threshold of 12, 1 per player on both sides here. Force center up on this stage would be completed. Remove all threat from this stage instead. Then deal 6 damage per player to Avengers Tower, so that's going to be a total of 12 damage from that. The armies of Thanos put the Avengers Tower environment in play, which we have here. Stronghold side face up, put the focus defense attachment into play, which we'll go over here. Each player searches the encounter deck for a copy of the Black Order procedure and puts them into play, engage with them, then shuffle the encounter deck. So those are the main schemes, and on this side, threshold of 12. Same here, but the ability is when this one's completed, remove all threat, then deal each player a face down encounter card. So going through these will not end the game, but they're going to make our life a lot more difficult. So ending the game is going to be the Avengers Tower. Force response after damage is placed here if there's at least 9 per player, so 18 in a 2-player game. Remove all of it, then flip Avengers Tower over. And on this side, same thing, but if we take 18 damage on this side, we're going to lose the game. So on our first hero, Proxima, Schema 1, attack of 3, with the ability of when she attacks you, choose to either deal damage to Avengers Tower, or she gets +2 attack for this. Starts with 12 health per player. Gets a little bit worse on this side, 2 and 3, and 15 health. And our other villain, Schema 2, attack of 2. Force response after he makes an undefended attack. Discard the top card of the encounter deck. Deal damage to Avengers Tower for each boost icon on that. 11 health per player on that side. Then he moves up to Schema 3 on this side and 14 health per player. The force defense. So the villain who matches the attached scheme is the active villain. Force response after the player phase ends, attach this card to the other main scheme. So it's starting on his scheme at the end of the player phase. It's going to move over to her scheme, so she'll be the first villain to attack. And of course, these guys coming in, Schema 1, attack of 2, 3 health. After they engage you, which they're going to automatically do, choose to either deal 1 damage to Avengers Tower or deal 2 damage to your identity. And I'm going to choose 1 damage to the tower. So this is going to start with 2 damage on it for us. Then for heroes, we got Captain America going Justice, Thor going Aggression. Cap starts with 2 for Thor to attack and defense. His ability, I can do this all day, as an action, discard a card from your hand to ready Captain America. Limit once per round, hand size of 5, 11 health. Alter Ego, recovery of 3. Living Legend, reduce the cost of the first ally played each round by 1. And for setup, search your deck and discard pile for a shield upgrade, add it to your hand and shuffle your deck in a hand size of 6 on this side. For Justice, we have 2 Power of Justice, Agent Coulson, 3 Clear the Areas, Counterintelligence, Euros, Heroic Intuition, 3 Multitasking, Quasar, Quake, Sense of Justice, Spycraft, Under Surveillance, and Wiccan. And then for our basic cards, we have our 3 Resources, a Helicarrier, Nick Fury, and 2 Endurance. For Thor, 4-1, attack of 2, defense of 2. Have at thee. As a response, after you engage a minion or one engages us, draw 2 cards. Hand size of 4, hit points of 14. Alter Ego, recovery of 4. He's worthy. As an action, search your deck and discard pile for the Mjolnir upgrade and add it to your hand, shuffle your deck once per round. Hand size of 5. And for him, let's put them on the bottom. 2 Power of Aggression, Combat Training, 3 Get Over Here. Hall of Heroes, Bug, Hulk, Yarnborn, Marvel Boy, 3 Mean Swings, 3 Piercing Strikes, 3 Relentless Assaults, and Spider-Girl. And then for our basics, there's 3 Resources, Quinn Carrier, 2 Downtimes, and Lockjaw. All right, so finishing our setup, shuffling our encounter deck. We've got everything else set up there, 2 threat on each of our main schemes, and the 2 besiegers out in play, and each of those did a damage to the tower. Then for Cap, shuffling up to get his 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we've got Strength, Helicarrier, a couple Shield blocks, Heroic Intuition, and Fearless Determination. Pitch both of those. Shield toss and some energy. Then go looking for our shield, which will give us +1 defense, and we gain retaliate. Then for Thor, starts with 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lightning Strike, Lady Sif, Strength, Combat Training, and Power of Aggression. And we'll toss those 2, Relentless Assault, and a Bug. We'll start the game going ahead, taking his action to go look for his hammer, since I'm going through the decks already. And the hammer gives us +1 attack in the aerial trait. So go ahead and flip over. Fearless Determination to give us +1 thwart, and we draw a card. Getting Counterintelligence. Going to bring in a Helicarrier. Action, exhaust it, choose a player, reduce the resource cost, so the next card that player plays is phased by 1. Then we're going to play Heroic Intuition, giving us +1 thwart. Then we're going to thwart for 4. Pitch a card to ready. And attack for 2. Make our next card 1 cheaper. Bring in our shield. And we're done with Cap. For Thor, flipping over. Going to give him some combat training, giving him +1 attack. We're going to give him his Mjolnir, +1 attack. And we're going to bring in a Bug. Thwart 1, attack 1, 2 health. After your hero makes a basic attack, you heal damage from him. So he's going to attack for 1 over here. Then Thor's going to attack to heal him and kill this guy. And end your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Quasar, Euros, Multitasking, Spycraft, and the Power of Justice. And over here, Hammer Throw, God of Thunder, and a Mean Swing. So start Elf, moving this over and adding 2 threat to both of our schemes. Then she's attacking for 3. Take care of her ability. We'll add 1 to here. We're going to defend for 3, take 1 damage, and retaliate for 1. And something similar over here. We'll add a damage over here and just take the attack. So 3, give the villain a tough status. So we go down to 11. Then encounter cards. Direct Assault attached to the villain who is not the active villain. When the villain attacks, the attack gains ranged. If that attack defeats an ally, deal 3 damage to the tower. At the end of this attack, discard Direct Assault. And then got a Landing Craft. When defeated, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck to a minion's discarded. Put that minion into play, engage with the player who defeated the scheme, and comes in with 4 threat. And pass player. All right, what we're going to do is waste 2 Hammer Throws to bring in the God of Thunder as a hero resource, exalt it to generate energy. To hopefully help him out. Bug is going to attack to get rid of Tough. Takes his damage, but he's going to heal it back. He's going to attack for 4. And with a Mean Swing, when your hero makes a basic attack, exhaust a weapon upgrade we control to make it +3. So we're doing 7 damage. Down to 16. Then on this side, we're going to make our next card we play one cheaper to bring in Euros. Thor to 2, attack him on 2 health. After you play him from your hand, confuse a minion for each mental resource we use to pay him. No minions and no mental resources used. Then we'll bring in Quasar. Thor to 1, attack with 2 and 3 health. After he enters play, remove a threat from each scheme in play. Then he's going to thwart for 2. And attack for 2. Down to 14. And end our turn. For Asgard, Defender of the Nine Realms, Marvel Boy, and God of Thunder. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Got our helmet, Power Justice, Genius, Nick, and to clear the area. So now we're getting 3 on each. So he's attacking for 4. Euros will defend. So it's 7 damage, no, 6 damage. But since an ally was defeated, 3 damage goes on this. And that gets discarded. Then attacking over here, we're going to defend with Cap. So base 2, so 5 damage coming in. We're defending 3, so we're going to take 2 damage. So this one we add the other villain scheme and attack to this villain scheme and attack. So 5 damage, we're taking 2, down to 8, and retaliate for 1. And in counter cards, we're man out of time. That's a bummer. May flip to alter ego form. Choose to exhaust him to remove this from the game. Discard half the cards in your hand rounded down to discard this obligation. We're going to flip to our other side. We've got 5 cards, so we've got to pitch 2 of them. Lose clear the area and our helmet. Then on this side, we've got a spear attaching to Proxima. Her attacks gain overkill and piercing. Hero action, take a damage and spend a mental and energy resource to discard it. We'll want to take care of that pretty quick. And pass turn. All right, with him in that form, our first ally is going to be 1 cheaper. We're going to make it 1 more cheaper, so playing Nick for 2. And after he comes in, we're going to use his ability to draw 3 cards. Under Surveillance, Wiccan, and to clear the area. Then we'll flip over. We're going to discard a card to ready and thwart for 3. Quasar will attack for 2. Pitch a mental and an energy, or wild, to get rid of the spear. Nick, thwarting for 2. Then over here, we're going to have Bug thwart for 1. Which means he's going to take his damage. Discard cards from the top of the deck until we find a minion, then we're putting that minion into play. Found one. After he engages you, choose to either deal a damage to the tower or deal 2 damage to our identity. Tower takes a hit. Because of his ability, we draw 2 cards. Pointless Assault and a Lightning Strike. We're going to bring in another God of Thunder. Attack for 4. Flip over. Actually, wait a second. Use that and that to pay for God of Thunder. Then flip over. Then we're going to, for Asgard, alter ego action, search our deck and discard pile for a card with the Asgard trait and add it to your hand. We're going for Asgard. Unfortunately, since that's a hero resource card I want, we're not going to be able to put in play. So that gives us +1 hand size. And then ending our turn with 3 cards in hand. We are going to get rid of Relentless Assault. And then draw up to 5. So we've got a Quinn Carrier, a Mean Swing, and Piercing Strike. And over here, we're going to keep under surveillance and get Endurance, Coulson, a Heroic Strike, and another Strike. So we'll get 2 threat over here and move that over with 2 more threat. Then attacking for 5, Nick jumps in front of it. So it ends up total of 7. Then over here, thwarting for 1, just 1, and getting tough. Then encounter cards, surge and exhaust your identity. When revealed, deal 3 damage to the tower, so we're up to 11 out of 18. And over here, Shadows of the Past. Now we're bringing in Loki. Schema 2, attack 2, 4 health. When he would be defeated, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If that card is a treachery, heal all damage from Loki instead. We're also getting a Family Feud started. When revealed, place an additional threat here for each Asgard card in play. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's getting 6 threat on it. And we're getting some other cards shuffled in here. And that will finish this round. So we're going to heal for 4 or 3 and flip over. Bring in a Quinn Carrier, play only for an Avenger, which we are. It's a resource exhausted to generate a wild resource. Then use those 3 to bring in Asgard, which gives us +1 hand size. And we'll be done there. Over here, we're going to make our next card 1 cheaper. Bringing in Agent Coulson. 4 to 2, attack of 1, 3 health. To enter his play, search your deck and discard pile for a preparation card and add it to your hand. See if we've got one. Yep, Spycraft. Then we're going to pitch a card to ready and thwart for 3. Then thwart for 3, well, 2, and then 3. Then we're going to bring in Spycraft, play only if you control a spy character, which Coulson is. It's an interrupt when you reveal an encounter card, discard this, cancel the effects of that card and discard it, then reveal another card from the encounter deck. And end your turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Serum, Apartment, Multitasking, Endurance, and Clear the Area. And over here, Hall of Heroes, Piercing Strike, Lockjaw, Hammer Throw, and the Hulk. So 2 threat on this side. And 2 more on this side. So 8 and 6. So attacking and defending. Discard a card at random. Well, we get him up to a normal hand size, and Destiny says no. The Hulk goes away. He is out. Loki hits us for 2. Then attacking over here, we're going to defend. 3 damage coming at us, we're good. And retaliate for 1. And then encounter cards. The Villain Schemes. So it's a base 2, 3. Which takes us up to 11 out of 12. And discard a card at random from your hand. Scheme of 1, attack of 1, and 2 health. All right, see which one we lose here. Losing, clearing the area. Pass first player. All right, we're going to make our next card 1 cheaper to bring in our Super Soldier Serum. Exhaust that to generate a physical resource, so a little bit better than what he's got. His is hero only. This is whenever. Then we're going to go ahead and use it to bring in our apartment. As an alter ego action, exhaust it, draw a card, and heal a damage. Then we're going to pitch a card to ready. And thwart for 3. And thwart for 2. Then over here, spin those to bring in Hall of Heroes. To defeat a minion, place a glory counter here. Alter ego action, exhaust the hall and remove 3 counters from it to draw 3 cards. And we're going to do the Quinn Carrier to help pay for a piercing strike. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. This attack gains piercing, which will get rid of the tough. Down to 9. Then we're going to attack for 4 to defeat a minion. And end her turn. I'm going to keep the hammer throw. Energy, downtime, Yarnborn, and get over here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sense of Justice, a strike, Quake, Fearless Determination, and Agent 13. So 2 threat going up to 10. And 2 more over here going up to 6. Getting attacked for base 3. What are we at here? It's 12. Cap will defend. And we'll put a damage up here. So it's 3, 6 damage coming our way. We take 3 and retaliate for 1. Then attacking over here. Coulson jumps in the way, so 5, 8 damage. Then he gets hit for 2 from Loki. It's getting annoying. All right. Midnight activates against you. That's not good. Thor's going to have to defend on that one. Take that up to 13, so 3, 4, 5 damage. -2, so down to 7. And landing craft. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck when defeated until we find a minion. Well, that turn did not go well. Pass first player. All right. Exhausting 3 for a hammer throw. Exhaust Mjolnir. Deal 8 damage to an enemy. We're going after Loki. And return this to our hand. The attack gains overkill. So 4 damage there. We're going to put 4 over here. And see if he goes away. It's a treachery. He doesn't. We tried. Then we're going to put our hammer back in play. And then we're going to put downtime in over here to give Cap +2 recovery. And end her turn, keeping energy. Then Cap's going to get Fearless, giving him +1 thwart until the end of phase and draw a card. To a shield toss. Then we're going to discard a card to ready. And flip over. Then use our apartment to draw a card and heal. Multitasking. The first ally comes in is going to be cheaper, so we'll spend 1 resource for Quake. Thwart 1, attack for 2 health after a minion schemes. Exhaust her to deal 2 damage to that minion. Then make her next card 1 cheaper to bring in Agent 13. Thwart 2, attack of 1, 3 health. After she enters play, remove 2 threat from a scheme. So with that and thwarting, she'll be removing 4. And thwart for 1. I hope that helps. Then we're going to heal for 5 up to 11. And that's going to end the turn. Probably should have thwarted with him instead of healing. I'm going to keep multitasking, getting our other serum, getting a counter card and shuffle. So we got 4 more cards coming. 1, 2, 3, 4. Counterintelligence, our helmet, Coulson, and the power of justice. And over here, keeping energy, relentless assault, defender of the 9 realms, downtime, and a piercing strike. So 3 threat, 3 threat. Attacking over here, Quake defends. And Quake is out. Then scheming for 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is just enough. So remove all threat from the scheme, then deal each player face down and counter card. Oh yes, and Loki hit us for 2, down to 5. All right, now we get more encounter cards. Midnight activates against you. Don't think we can live from that, so 13 jumps in the way, base 5 attack, 6, 7. And then deal 3 damage to the tower. 16 out of 18, so might as well let that run out here soon, because the overkill doesn't matter. Let's see. Frost Giant comes out, scheme 1, attack 3 for health and toughness. Then the villain schemes, all right. For base 1, 2, 3. That takes it to 12. Well, that comes out, we put 12 damage on here. After damage is placed here, there's at least 18 damage here. Remove all of it and flip it over. So now if we get 18 damage on it, we've lost. And then we get discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Place a threat on the main scheme for each different card type discarded this way. So 1, 2, 3. We've got 2 events and an upgrade, so 2 threat. And we pass first player. All right, starting out, first ally is cheaper. Agent Coulson comes in. We're going looking for a preparation card, which I don't believe we have, so let's pay with something different. We'll pay with these 2 to go looking for preparation. Find counterintelligence. Make our next card 1 cheaper. To bring in another soldier serum. We're going to exhaust this to draw a card and heal a damage. We're at max health, but we paid the cost by exhausting it. So we just can't heal. Draw into a heroic strike. Go ahead and flip over. We will thwart for 3. No, I don't think it matters here. Yeah, we'll thwart for 3. Then thwart for 2. Bring in counterintelligence, so any amount of threat would be placed on the main scheme. We can discard it to prevent 3 of that threat from being out there. Discard a card to ready. And get rid of toughness. And over here, Thor's thwarting. So we can go find a minion. There might not be one. we're not going to do that. He's going to attack the 4, see if he kills. It's not a treachery, so he defeated a minion. We get a token. I'm going to use the Quinn Carrier as a physical resource. God of Thunder for Relentless Assault, dealing 5 damage to a minion, and Overkill. Take that over here, down to 19. Then God of Thunder for a resource to give us +2 recovery. Then a Piercing Strike for 3 damage. Down to 1. Then we're going to flip over. And Ender turn. We'll go ahead and pitch that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Spider Girl, get over here, Mean Swing, get over here, Genius, and the Power of Aggression. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Task, Toss, Genius, Power, and Strength. So 3 and 3. And attacking, we're going to defend. Put a damage, so base 3 come in, 3 damage. We defended it all and retaliate, taking her down to 0. Unfortunately, we get an acceleration and shuffle, and then scheming on Odinson. For base 1, 2, 3. Counter cards. Loki's back. That sucks. And Black Infantry with guard and when defeated, give the villain a tough status. And he's in his alter ego form. All right, pass turn. I'm going to exhaust and draw 3 cards. So first we'll get 2. Then in a counter card and shuffle. So we've got 1 more coming. A Mean Swing. I'm going to recover for 6 up to 11. Flip over. Tell Loki to get over here, dealing a damage to him, and since we have the aerial trait, engage the enemy, which allows us to draw 2 into Lady Sif and a Relentless Assault. Then the 2 Gods of Thunder, along with a Genius, brings in Lady Sif. Thor to 2, attack for 2, 3 health. After she enters play, ready Thor or Odinson. Then he will attack for 4 to defeat a minion. Gets a counter and tough. We will attempt a Relentless Assault on him. So it's got overkill. So 3 breaks, well, 3 gets soaked up, 2 breaks through. And see if he's really defeated. It's an obligation, so he really is defeated. Grab another token. Then we're going to use that in a Mean Swing to bring in our helmet, giving us +5 hit points. Up to 16 health. And thwarting for 2. Then bring in Spider Girl, 4 to 1, attack for 2, 2 health. After you play her from her hand, stun and confuse a minion, she's going to swing for 2, down to 15. So we're done with him. On the Cap, I'm going to pitch a card to ready. Actually, instead of pitching that one, we're going to pitch Power of Justice. You know what? Never mind. Let's get with the first one. Then we're going to do multitasking. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. If we paid for this using a mental, using a wild, remove 2 threat from a different scheme. We'll take 2 off of this. And 2 off of that one. Then he will attack for 1 to get rid of toughness. Then we're going to thwart to get rid of the rest of that. And end your turn. So many cards. All right, keeping mean swing. Keeping all the resources, even though we had 3 left over that time. Clear the area, fearless determination, Nick, and that was 1 too many. Just 4 more, Marvel Boy, Hammer Throw, Piercing Strike, and for Asgard, we're getting 4 now. Attacking, Spider-Girl defends. Wait, what is this over here for? I guess deal 3 damage to the tower. Don't know how long that's been there. Oh well, it's done now. So attacking here. So for 1, 2, 5 damage and out. Attacking over here, Coulson defends. Takes 2 and leaves. And counter cards. Deal 3 damage to the tower, that's not good. 7. And city under attack. So that's going to come out with 4 threat on it. And pass first player. All right, we need to start dealing some damage and getting this threat under control. We're going to start with the Helicarrier and the Serum and some Genius for Nick Fury. He's going to come out and let us draw 3 cards. Endurance, Sense of Justice, and Multitasking. Then Fearless Determination, +1 forward until the end of the phase and draw a card to Euros. So we're thwarting for 4. That allows us to draw a card to Energy. Gonna discard a card to Ready and a thwart for 4 more. Going to use a physical resource to pay for multitasking to remove 2 threat from a scheme. Bring in Euros. After you're playing from your hand, we can confuse minions if there were any, so use him to thwart for 2. Then we're going to clear the area, removing 2 threat and drawing a card. Into Wiccan. Then we'll bring in Wiccan. He's just going to attack for 1 though. And Nick attacks for 2. So take him down to 12. Over here, we're going to thwart for 2. Then discard cards until we find a minion. Oh, found a big one with toughness. Well, we draw 2 cards. We will use a God of Thunder. And for Asgard, for a Piercing Strike to deal 3 damage, and we have Piercing. Then we'll spend these 2, and a Lightning Strike for a Hammer Throw. Exhausting her hammer, putting it in her hand, 8 damage with Overkill. So he soaks up 1. We get another token, and 7 breaks through, going down to 5. Bring our hammer back in play. Then do a mean swing for 7. Take care of the first versions of these guys. So now he's moving up with a scheme of 3 and 28 health. And she moves up to a scheme of 2 and 30 health. And ending her turn, we're going to keep Marvel Boy, Defender, Strength, Defender, and the Hulk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shield Tall, Strike, Quasar, under surveillance, and another strike. 3 and 3. Attacking over here for base 5, defending with Nick. 8 damage. Attacking over here, we're going to defend with him. Another 8 damage. Counter cards. Let's see, discard and upgrade or support you control. We'll get rid of downtime. And over here, the villain schemes. So base 1 or 2, 3, and pass first player. So first, we're going to bring in Marvel Boy. 4 to 0, attack for 2, 2 health. When he attacks, we can spend a physical resource to give him piercing and ranged. Then Defender of the 9 Realms. To, let's see, do we even want to do that? No. Just in case something makes us discard cards, we're going to get our hand down to nothing to start with. God of Thunder and that to bring in the Hulk. Can't thwart, attack of 3, 5 health, and after he attacks, some things happen. Then play Defender. So we're going to get a minion and remove 3 threat from a scheme. All right. Scheme 1, attack 2 for health, guard, and give the villain a tough, when defeated, give the villain a tough status, but we draw 2. Hammer throw and a power of aggression. So first we will attack for 4. Get rid of that. Gives the villain a tough status. We'll take another marker. Then we'll use these 2 and the power of aggression for a hammer throw. Exhaust her hammer, deal 8 damage to an enemy, and this goes back to her hand. Taking him down to 20. And then we'll have him hitting for 2 more down to 18. And keep him and her and the Hulk for defense. So we're done over here. So thwarting for 1. Using the ability, which is going to deal 2 damage. Down to 16. Thwarting for 3. Pitch a card to ready. Thwart for 3. Use our helicarrier and our 2 serums for Quasar. Do units play, remove a threat from each scheme in play. Then attack for 2. And under surveillance, attached to a main scheme, increase the target value to 4. We definitely don't want that. That's going to end the game for us. Not in a good way. So it goes from 12 to 16 and end the turn. Keeping our hammer over here, so we get 4 more. Energy, strike, hammer throw, and relentless assault. And over here we get 4 Determination to clear the areas. That should be over there. And counter card and shuffle. Shield block and Agent 13. All right. So attacking for 2, Lady Sif is going to defend and go away. Attacking for 2, Marvel Boy will defend. And he gets 5 attack coming. And counter cards. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Place a threat on the main scheme for each different card type. 1, 2, 3. So we've got 2 events and an ally. Adding 2 threats. Over here, a landing craft with 4 threats, and a frost giant with toughness. All right, we're going to start with Fearless Determination, +1 thwart for the rest of the phase, and we draw a card into some downtime. We're going to thwart for 3, pitch a card to ready, and thwart for 3, actually 4. Oh yeah, so that would taken that off to start with also. So we're going looking for a minion. Put into play, so ignoring the when revealed part. Going to use those 3 resources to bring in Agent 13. It's going to remove 2 threat and then thwart for 2. To remove 4. And Quasar is going to attack for 2 to get rid of tough. Then we're going to go in to clear the area, remove 2 threats, and then we'll draw a card. And we find Quake. All right, over here. Going to use that as a physical, along with that for a Relentless Assault with Overkill. 1 breaks through, gets rid of tough. Use that to bring in our hammer. Attack for 4. Down to 10. Then we're going to do a hammer throw, 8 damage with Overkill. Exhausted, back in her hand. That's right, he took out another one. He's about to take out another one. So we're up to 6. That blocked 2, 6 breaks through, down to 4 health. And we're done. Keeping the hammer. Get over here, Relentless Assault, Lightning Strike. And in a counter card and shuffle. 1 more card coming. Defender. We're going to keep both of these, so 3 more. Endurance, Power of Justice, and Heroic Strike. 3 and 3. So attacking for 5. Wiccan defends. Wiccan goes away. Attacking for 5. Quasar defends. Quasar goes away. Counter cards. Someone's getting retaliate and +1, so we take a damage, spend those 2 resources to discard that. And over here, We've already gotten his stuff, so this just surges into a city under attack, so that's going to get 4 threat. And Midnight activates against you. We're just going to take it, so base 5, 6 damage, down to 10, and pass first player. All right, we're going to thwart for 3, and then thwart for 2. And that allows us to draw a card. Power of Justice. We're going to bring in Quake. She's going to attack for 2. Down to 28. Then we'll use those 3 for a heroic strike, dealing 6 damage. Those provide physical, or 2 of them do. So we stun an enemy. Down to 22 and stunned. Then we'll play Endurance over here to give him 3 more health. Up to 13. God of Thunder to bring in her hammer. Attack for 4. Actually, before we do that attack, we are going to take a damage, spending an energy and a physical. Let's get rid of that. Then attack for 4. Then we'll play Lightning Strike, spend X energy resources, which will be 2. Deal 2 damage to the villain and each minion engage with you. So down to 20. And Hulk sits there. Keeping shield block, strike, multitasking, fearless determination, and a shield toss. And over here for Asgard, piercing strike, defender, power of aggression, and energy. So 3 and 3. Attacking for 2, we'll have Hulk defend, taking 3 damage. Attacking for 2, we'll have Quake. Then encounter cards. Place 4 threat on each side scheme. If there isn't one, we go looking for one. Hopefully we don't find one. We don't, so that fizzles. But we do get that. All right. And then for here, surge and exhaust your identity. Not a fan. We're going to spycraft that to get something else. Deal 3 damage to the Avengers Tower. Not a fan. 10 out of 18. And pass first player. So 20 damage, this game's over. Can we do it? First, going to give us +1 thwart and draw a card. We got our helmet. Heroic strike, using those to pay for it. 6 damage and stun an enemy. It's already stunned, but the 6 damage is what we're looking for, down to 14. Then we'll attack for 2 and 3, down to 11. Pitch a card to ready, attack for 2 more, down to 9. Shield toss, discard X cards from your hand, then return our shield to her hand, deal 4 damage to X enemies. Well, I guess we only need to spend 1. So that's going to deal 4 damage to an enemy, down to 5. Then we can put our shield back in. Then over here, attacking for 4, down to 1. And a piercing strike for 3. So that takes care of defending the tower. It's beat up, but Tony's got the money to put it back together. So Thor and Cap made it through. So as always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.